First, I have to tell you something funny. In the gospel, it says, foxes have holes, right? And when my father was a soldier, a paratrooper in World War II, and when I was a little child, he was telling us about having to dig foxholes, which was something they had to do all the time. And I said, "So, Dad, what about those wolf holes?" My brothers teased me mercilessly. Anyway, so what we have in our lessons today, we talked about this on Thursday. We have a Eucharist and Bible study on Thursday mornings, and it's a wonderful opportunity for us to talk together. And these lessons are hard to take. They really are a challenge. There's a harshness and an urgency, and those two things together come out sounding really bad. So let's look at it this way. There are three aspirants being people who want to follow Jesus, and I will follow you wherever you go, and the words go on. And each time Jesus says something pretty severe. He says, foxes have holes. Then that phrase ends with the Son of Man has no place to lay his head. And then let the dead bury the dead. I mean, who of us would say that about our families? And another one says, well, let me first go and say goodbye to my family. And Jesus says, nope. So there's a sense of harshness again and urgency. And we have the similar echo of that in the King's passage that we read. Elisha has 12 oxen, and Elijah gives him the mantle. In other words, okay, you're going to take over. And Elisha's, he's plowing a field with 12 oxen. I don't know if you can imagine that. That's a lot of beef. And so Elijah chastises him. Come on, get with the program. And so Elisha follows, and he slaughters the 12 oxen. My mind just cannot fathom what that would be like. And then he boils the meat and gives it to people to eat, and then he goes and follows Elijah. One of the phrases that I love in this passage is in Kings is, then if you put your hand to the plow, don't look back. And all of us think of summer as that lawnmower. Somebody's mowing their lawn, or you're mowing your lawn, and you can smell the grass, and it's a wonderful sign that things are growing and life is good. But we don't plow. We're not the plowing people anymore. But we do mow lawns. And if you look back while you're mowing the lawn or plowing a field, you get crooked. And you know how it is. You can see the people who have gone beautifully straight this way and that way. They leave their mark on the grass. So what does it mean not to look back? It means if you look back, you're going to make crooked lines. So Jesus is chastising these aspirants. He was not really trying to make things hard or hurtful, but he was cautioning us, cautioning them, that they would have difficulties. So following God, being in God's kingdom, following Jesus Christ, having our faith is not easy. I think we forget that. I know in some churches everybody's supposed to be smiling. Well, everything isn't great all the time. So when we're called to do God's work, we are putting our hand to the plow of challenges, exposing ourselves to danger in a way. So today, in our country, we don't need to go far to find those challenges. And I don't even need to tell you half of them. But today, in the United States, we have to face the reality that our young children could be gunned down in school. Where do we get the courage to send them to school? Surviving this pandemic, it has altered our lives, all of us, in ways that we can name and some ways we can't even name. I know my own family are suffering with an anxiety, a level of anxiety that never existed before, because we're afraid. We have a lot of things to be afraid of, and we need to get courage. We may feel frustrated, deprived, depressed, helpless, anxious. These are some of our ordinary challenges. It isn't like it was in biblical times. But like the one who doesn't look back, we have to make a straight path ahead. We are required to stand tall, to forge ahead, working always to make God's kingdom come. To follow Jesus' lead, we are called to different values. We are called to many challenges. But if we continue to have faith, God will be present, assisting our navigation of a world that seems to have gone awry. We need to have the courage to hope and the confidence that God will comfort us, love us, and sustain us. Today, Paul has the last word. He goes through this list of sins: fornication, licentiousness. We all get tied up in those. Oh gosh, did I do that? But the main message is this: the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, generosity, gentleness. So this is a contrast to what? We need to read the passage again. Don't look back. It only distorts our intentions, our looking ahead. We need to look ahead cautiously. That's what those chastisements were. Cautiously, understanding the risks, understanding the challenges, and yet with confidence and courage that whatever happens, God will bring us to true joy and comfort. We all have been there. We all have had struggles. We've lost people we love. We've had to see some horrors especially recently with wars and shootings. But nothing can stop us if we keep focused on God and know that God is with us. You know, I've been through my own sufferings, and sometimes I get so discouraged. But I think, none of that matters. The banks can come after me. Bad things can happen. But as long as I am faithful to God, I need to accept the courage and the confidence that God gives me. And so today, in this ungodly heat, I wish you the blessings of summer, and may you feel the blessing of God in your life, because in the end, that's all that we have. Amen.